Hello. Rather than our ordinary thanks at the beginning of this episode, I was thinking about it, and I figured this one could probably use a content warning. This is a video game, The Evil Within 2, which is about an exceedingly divorced man who spends a lot of time just like slopping around in white goo. And Cole and I, being who we have a puerile sense of humor. So be warned. We're going to make a bunch of jokes about that, and I know that not everybody likes that. Sometimes we're smart as well, but I like to think that we're a little combination, like a steak stuffed with M&Ms in that respect. So just a little warning, and thank you to all of our patrons, of course, at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Thank you. My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we're talking about The Evil Within 2, which is a survival horror game developed by Tango Gameworks and published by Bethesda Softworks, lots of works, for PC, PS4, and Xbox One in 2017.
It would make sense for us to have all these developed by it because this game, more than many in recent memory, has a lot of little opening produced by things.
Yeah.
Like it really lets you know. There's a lot going on here. This is our premium episode for the month, which means that patrons will hear the entire thing. If you'd like to join them, go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. $5 a month gets you all those. Everyone else will get just the generalities, which will be beefy. So no worries there. And we appreciate both of you for listening.
Yeah. Let's get into it. So in this game, you play as Sebastian Castellanos, an ex-cop who thought that his kid died in a house fire, his kid Lily, but instead finds out that she is being held captive by this kind of massive corporation / Illuminati conspiracy called Mobius.
The Mobius Corporation. Yeah, evil name. And he has to rescue her from the stem. There's a lot of big proper nouns.
Yeah.
In this, we're fully like we'll get into all of this stuff, but we're fully in the like Resident Evil proper noun zone.
Yep,
where everything is capitalized. It's called the stem, and what the stem is just a virtual reality, like it's a mindscape.
Yeah,
that the people live in. This is very different than Evil Within 1. This is the sequel to. I attempted to play Evil Within 1 and couldn't. It seems like a game mostly about watching load screens. And I can do that on YouTube, or I can just bust up a compilation DVD of load screens. Yeah, and just vibe. I don't need to have this little moment of getting killed by a chainsaw guy in between every load screen. That's just wasted time. I just want to watch the load screens.
Yeah, It was one of the most frustrating games I ever streamed, which is, it sucks because I wanted to really like it. Developed by Shinji Mikami, kind of touted as this heir apparent to, the Resident Evil 4 kind of stuff, because it was kind of the first game like this that he was directly responsible for after he left that series. It's not very good. I do not care for it. I think that there are people who like it for masochistic reasons. They may say like, oh, you just don't like hard games. It's fine. I like how resource constrained you are. You max out like maybe 4 or 5 bullets at a time and you have to make them count. That is, I can adapt to that. But that game hands out instant death like it's Reese's Cups on Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the problem with it. Like it's not. I like hard games and I like being constrained as well. I think that coupled with Jurassic Park kitchen stealth, like crouching below things and throwing bottles, like that flavor of stealth, which the sequel is as well. But that I find that to be a shallow stealth, like when you have no verticality, you're just crouching behind things. Is really irritating if every single time not only you die, but you watch a load screen, like an animation of you dying and then a load screen. Which is a problem in Evil Within 2 as well. It's just way less of a problem. They just dial it way back. I did not like this. I read a story synopsis of it and I was like, this is dumb bullshit. And then stop that as well. So we're in the wireframe zone for Gary, because everything that's not a wireframe in this game and what I've read of the prequel seems real dumb to me. Even though I really like this game, this is like a B+ to me. I like this quite a bit. It is dumb.
So we are in psychological horror month, right? And this is kind of leading into that. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we get into the story. But something that makes it especially dumb, and this is it's more so in this one, but it also happens a little bit in the previous one, which is psychological horror can kind of only exist when the rules are very vaguely defined. The second it turns into a kind of technology and some things are considered immutable and it's just but still you can, like gravity can change according to people's will and stuff. It's still its own version of Calvin Ball, but it is trying to also claim to be like rooted in sci-fi. And I think that those two things are incredibly at odds with each other. And it makes it all extremely doofy.
There's only so many times you can just make up a new rule to explain why the people who would want to solve the problem don't. One of the things I was thinking about while playing this was like, okay, the idea is everyone in here is strapped into the machine. They only ever show Sebastian Castellano strapped in the machine, but they tell you that other people are strapped in the machine. And then it's supposed to be a big deal that we find out some of them are bad guys. Why doesn't the lady who is perfectly happy being insubordinate just go unplug them because turn off their connection?
Because they're going to die. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Well, good. You want them to die because it's the serial killers. Like go unplug the artist and the evil priest.
Yeah.
And they come up with a rule so why they can't. Like it's just like, oh, if we do that, it will affect the mindscape's potentiometer or some shit like that. And it's that stacked on that that just ends up feeling worse than a Silent Hill-esque, like it's just dream logic, it's magic, so you don't have to worry about it. Having these explanations, solving the equation isn't good. It's go back to Metal Gear 5, go back to all of these things. Like just solving the equation, having a line that explains something is not enough to justify it in a narrative.
No. Like it needs to exist on symbolic logic, I think, to really, especially work. So can I give you a little bit of science on the previous one? You can't go kill the bad people, especially the powerful ones, because they tried to do that in the backstory of the first one, but it just made him more powerful. Cut loose from his physical form. The bad guy there it got more powerful by being a literal ghost in the machine, existing in the collective gestalt of the assembled minds of the people in the tubs.
In the first one, did they attempt to disconnect and then kill rather than just kill? Like it feels like you could just use the computer that's controlling his brain being hooked into this and be like, computer, eject Psycho. And then it would just, like similar to how I might eject a USB drive, like safely remove Psycho. And then, right click, safely remove Psycho. And then when he's there, arrest him for crimes.
I think you have to be in your room to be successfully ejected. Otherwise, there's a disconnect. See, it's dumb. It's fucking dumb is what it is.
It's awful. I'm so mad at it. Like, tell me more about what happened in The Evil Within 1.
Yeah. So, we're in a weird spot where we're talking about a sequel that is way better than the original.
Yeah. We almost never do that.
Right.
Like if The Evil Within 1 wasn't something that you canonically hated, basically,
then
it would have been a thing where it would have made more sense to do that first and then build up to this. See, also like Dead Space, right? Which it's not, Dead Space 1 is not nearly as bad as Evil Within 1, but the idea was we did Dead Space 1 because if we want to be able to do Dead Space 2 and not just be able to be like, oh, this obviates everything.
Yes.
Someday perhaps we'll do Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
But we probably will not do Evil Within 1.
Yeah. So in that game, Sebastian was a detective. He was part of the police force for Crimson City, Crimson with a K.
Sure.
Love it. Yeah. And him and a small crew of people responded to an incident at the abandoned Beacon Mental Hospital. He shows up, but things start getting weird because he was quickly captured and put into the stem. Basically, you're put into a bathtub and your brain is hooked up to the minds of a lot of other people and sent into this inner world that was kind of formed and run by this kind of keystone personality who acts as the core, the person who's kind of built around it. In this case, it was STEM's creator, this madman named Ruvik. Who, a lot of corporate drama in the background there, but, bad person, unstable, creates this big unstable world, things like that. With the help of Kidman, a lot of this is in the DLC there. Kidman, this rookie detective who happens to be this double agent working with Mobius, the company responsible for STEM and the Beacon incident. Sebastian defeats Ruvik and destroys the stem, leaving the whole incident alive, but traumatized because was put through a bunch of like spooky stuff, reliving Ruvik's whole convoluted backstory kind
Rubik's
of deal.
Cube. He's grizzled on a level that video game protagonists rarely become. In terms of what type of game this is a third-person, over-the-shoulder stealth action game.
Mm-hmm.
With elements of classic The Evil Within 1 kind of environments and open world game parts. This is where the game sings.
Yes.
The environment in STEM is this artificial small town called Union. And for the first half of the game, you get to explore Union. Mm-hmm. And this is revelatory, and someone should make a whole game of it. Yep. And every time it wasn't happening, I missed it. Mm-hmm. And I hated that it stopped happening.
Yep. No, it's wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful going into these little like homes and businesses and seeing the small stories. And elephant in the room here, that's immersive sim like. You're breaking into spaces. There's stuff happening there. You're getting resources. There's like a kind of a permanence to it, but it's happening in this cool illogical space. Everything is kind of busted apart and it's floating around.
And I love suburban small towns.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite level in Hitman 2.
Yeah.
Is the suburbs. Like, I just think that's a fun place to transgress.
Yes.
And do things that you're not supposed to do. This ends up pairing really well with Mankind Divided, actually, with that, which is a future city. It doesn't feel like a small town, but it is just a residential space where people live that you get free reign over, which for me is always the ultimate fantasy of games. Like, I don't want to be a Superman. I want to be Gary in the real world, but I can do anything.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, got a question for you. What's happening behind those picket fences?
The ammo pickups and crafting parts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's worth going back there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. There's a pile of gunpowder and some goo that you just slurp up like a fucking maniac. Slime time for Sebastian Castellanos.
Get it in me.
Give me the slime. He loves slime. This part is incredible. Like it's worth really emphasizing it. Like when we get to those parts and we talk about those parts, we'll talk about why it's so cool. But it is the big thing that this game was sold to me on when people were first telling me about it. I didn't play it because this is the first time I played it here for the show. Yeah. I didn't do it because I knew we'd do it for the show someday.
Yeah.
Somebody take this and make a game out of it.
Yes.
Like, give me Resident Evil 4 engine, kind of shooting and everything, but just make it an open world and get these fucking corridor stalking sequences out of my goddamn hands. Just get these boss fights off me.
Yeah.
Just let me do this shit.
It's one of those things that really makes me wish this wasn't a sequel to the game than it was, because I think that there was, again, a regression to the mean. Like, we have to have like some evil within stuff in this. It can't just be, just, let's crawl Union kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. The parts of it that felt bad the same way the Evil Within 1 felt bad to me. This combat will be familiar if you played Resident Evil 5 or 6. So that kind of over the shoulder, slow shooting. You're going up against they're zombies basically.
Yeah.
The mutated humans called the Lost, here, but they act like zombies, and so much so like they're special infected. Like the Left 4 Dead tendrils have reached this as well. And you're doing survival horror stuff in that you have weapons and limited ammo, health resources. Like this is a resource game.
Yeah. Your weapon loadout is going to be pretty familiar. You have this old standbys, pistol, shotgun, sniper rifle. Thankfully, there is no submachine gun. You do get an assault rifle toward the end, and it's not a bad weapon. So that's good.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If it'll melt bosses if you're conservative with the ammo and save them for tough encounters.
Kind of the special weapon in this is this Warden crossbow, for which you get a number of different kinds of ammo and can craft different kinds of ammo that let you set like specialized traps, explosives. You can like open up fire hydrants and shoot it into like water puddles to stun a bunch of people and go in and get instant kills. The Warden crossbow is cool. I like it quite a bit.
It's a real good weapon. I like it as well. Stealth is really emphasized in this game. You have a visibility and a sound indicator. You want to be hiding. You want to be sneaking up on enemies and backstabbing them, which is free, resource wise. So obviously that's advantageous. It's also quiet. Doesn't attract everyone else.
Yeah.
It's
real cool, like rolling up to a cul-de-sac or like a little development or, just a couple of businesses, examining the situation, figuring, okay, I can get where I need to go if I just lure a couple of these people over here and take out this one guy who's on the way. Like that situational awareness and then doing the Predator kind of gameplay. It's real good. It's one of the most fun things to do in games.
Dismantling a setup, like looking at a chessboard of enemy placements and their movements and being like, how do I what's the order of operations to deconstruct this to turn it to my advantage, is just the primo video game shit.
Weirdly, one of your most powerful tools in this game is the bottle. You get the distraction element. Obviously you can throw, and it doesn't just show you where it lands, it shows you a radius of who's going to hear it, which is especially useful. But the bottle is also, it's this one resource that does two things. You have the distraction, but if you screw up and an enemy gets a hold of you, at least one of the basic lost, and I think maybe a couple of the minor, the minor guys, it is an automatic, oh shit kind of thing. Sebastian will take
skill you buy. Oh, you had to buy this. Like you don't start out with it. It's an upgrade you can buy in the stealth tree, I think.
It's one of the most basic ones you can get.
Yeah. But it's good. You'll smash over their head and break the hold. Very useful. And again, similar to like the innovation in the Resident Evil 1 remake, introduced with the shocker, the electric thingy, stun gun. Very useful. And then you can only carry a few of them, but they're everywhere. And the fact that they're useful drives the pickup economy, which drives exploration, which is what you want to be doing anyway, et cetera, et cetera. It's very elegant. This game has an experience system, unlike a Resident Evil 4, 5, or 6. You kill enemies, you collect green goo, which you just slurp on up. They leave a little glowing puddle, and you're like, "Give me that, please."
You have a little like big syringe.
Yep, and you're just like, I'll see you later. I'm going to inject you into my body.
Slurp.
You go to a room and you talk to somebody from the first game, I assume, who will level up your abilities in this kind of skill tree. Set up. There are also gates on the skill tree where you need special red goo to get past certain skill gates, and that felt, I don't know if this is true, but it felt limited. Like I had to kind of commit to a path. Like there weren't enough high grade weapon parts, which are the weapon equivalent of that, or red goo elements to max out everything. Like you're encouraged to do a build in this.
Or at least be sparing. And that red goo is meted out at certain points during the story. Like if you get to a new safe room, there will usually be one waiting there. After a major boss, there will be red goo. Things like that. This is a game with side quests to round out the open world kind of aspect of this. Red goo and the special weapon parts are often rewards for like the very end of those.
Yes. The special weapon parts, the equivalent of this. So you're upgrading your character. You're also upgrading your guns, which is basically your character as well. This is just kind of the same function over two different trees, where you use regular gun parts to upgrade different elements of your weapons. And then they have these elements where they're blocked. There's a little bit of a weird rhythmic thing where Workshop bits or workshops to upgrade your weapons are very frequent.
Mhm.
But upgrading for green goo, you have to go back to your hub, go back to your Majula to do this. This is not important to the upgrade economy so much as the crafting economy.
Mhm.
They do a crafting thing in this where you pick up crafting materials, allow you to make ammo, which you're going to want to do. Like a lot of your rewards are going to be crafting materials to make ammo rather than ammo. And you can do this in the field, but it's much cheaper to make runs back to your safe spot or to a workshop and spend fewer resources to craft things.
Yeah.
So I think this is really interesting, like a really interesting kind of risk reward system. If you really need that ammo, you can do it, but it's not the most efficient use of your resources in the long term. So you have to balance out those concerns.
Yeah. I like that it materially rewards planning. Like, okay, I have this much gunpowder. I know I like these weapons. Let's, split this as much as we can. Let's use the fuses and things that I have available to me to make as many crossbow bolts as I can. Get it here. But it doesn't emphasize it so much that it punishes you for things that you couldn't take into account. So if you end up in if you end up in a pinch, the fact that you can just do this from your weapon wheel is incredibly gracious, I think. The first game would not have had you do this.
It's also, in addition to that, like kind of planning thing, you get to be in like, oh shit, I was saving that. But if I have to decide, can I get past this encounter with no ammo, or do I inefficiently craft some stuff?
Yeah.
I love that. Really, really fun decision. So super cool.
Something important as well is that regular enemies will drop this kind of stuff for you. It is not just out in the world and fixed. There's a little bit of a dynamic difficulty curve thing kind of going on here, where it will give you materials and sometimes ammo for the things that you are using. And not give you a bunch of stuff that's not going to be useful for you. So I think that's important as well. You don't have finite enemies, you don't have finite pickups. The game is kind of just trying to make sure to string you along with just barely more than you actually need. Yeah.
And specifically of what you use. So you don't have that bad feeling of like, I never use the sniper rifle. Here's a big bunch of sniper rifle ammo I fought to get.
Yeah.
There's a map which you can use to navigate, but you also use this little communicator thing to locate things called resonance points. These are like a mixed bag. They're cool when they're like, you first go in, you're like, oh, there are commandos who dropped cool stuff.
Yeah.
I want to go get those. There are also little like story scenes that you'll see during these that are essentially, like apocalypse logs, kind of thing, like audio logs, and they're bad, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're very well written or interesting.
Yeah.
And they do a thing where before you get to them, this is going to sound like a minor nitpick, and it is a minor nitpick, but it annoyed me every time it happened. When you are tracking it, you can hear the first like 3 or 4 lines of the little sketch that they're going to put on for you.
Yep.
And then when you get there, you get to hear the whole thing, which is like 6 lines. So you hear those first 4 lines again. And then the ending is never revelatory.
No,
like the ending's never a twist because the writing isn't on that level. It's just like the character emphasizing something in a new way. Like it really was a nightmare, and then they die, and it's like you do all this work to get that little bonus, and sometimes these trigger like a little boss encounter, like you're being stalked by a grudge in this, and it like the grudge will pop out. Because I went and did this dumb story thing. Like I didn't get anything for this. This just sucks. I had to go run away from the grudge now. I got a bad story. I had to listen to like a shuttle run, like listen to the beginning of it, do tons of false starts, and now I had to fight a grudge.
Yeah.
This has broken my pickup loop that I have for this open world that it feels so good.
Yeah, this is going to sound incredibly minor too, but I played this on PS5, and I imagine the PS4 version is similar as well. I don't know about the PC version. This is a pretty buggy game. which is normally not a thing that I care about if as long as it doesn't cause lost progress. But there is a certain amount of frustration where just like sometimes when you're like near one of these things or like trying to look for it, the game can just decide, oh, you like pressing the triangle button will not actually bring this out for you. You have to like reset into combat mode in order to make this happen. So just like, okay, press this button and then, you know, get near and press the triangle button to pull out the communicator. But then when you're close enough to the thing, now hold the square button to make this, to start this little cutscene, which is an audio log that you cannot walk away from. It puts you into like a little shadow circle as you see like the silhouettes of these people. Not act out this thing, just kind of like say this thing.
Yeah, I didn't run into tons of glitches with that, but that was the rhythm of it, which even when it's operating correctly isn't great, I think.
Yeah, it's it is minor friction, but minor friction is cumulative.
It's also a minor friction of a type that is pretty endemic to this game, which is this game really wants you to stop and appreciate it. It does a lot of things where it will make you slow walk to an area. You stop and talk on a communicator while not being able to leave the room. You can't pick up things while you're doing that. Like, it does not want you to multitask. When you are being told the story, it wants you to appreciate the story. When you get instant murked by the Juon, by the grudge, you have to watch the full cutscene every time.
Yeah.
No matter how many times it happens. Like, to me, I don't know if this is a fair thing, but as I've, thought about games for work and stuff, I've come to associate that with kind of a sweaty insecurity.
Yeah.
Like, I think that being very, very, it's like the James Urbaniak in The Magic Circle.
Yeah.
Where he's like, how can anyone appreciate your story if you can just go and destroy everything? I'm trying to tell my masterpiece. And it ends up coming off specifically silly when this is the story you're telling.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't wring pathos from this if I had, Colossus strength. Trying to squeeze it. Like, there's nothing in this game that makes me feel anything. Other than like, that's a cool design. But no sadness. And they really want to try to sell the sadness of some of this stuff. And I can't. I don't think they do a good job with it. And I hate having my nose rubbed in it when it's bad. It feels sweaty. It feels like my geode will be acknowledged. It feels like that to me. Shut up. Like, this is not good. Let me skip it or at least walk around. Like, we say this all the time on the show, but BioShock figured out audio logs. You listen to them while you play the game. It's great. Every game that doesn't do that fucked up.
If there is a good reason to like pin you down and force you, you made me watch, you just
admire the geode.
If there is a good reason to do that, I have not seen it.
No, but remember Titanfall 2, where like you would hit laptops that were laying on the ground and you had to stand within audio range of the laptop. You're like this time traveling super soldier, like, guy who's just kind of standing around listening to a .wave file play. You don't have an MP3 player in that helmet? Your mech doesn't come with fucking Sirius FM? This is stupid.
That's in the leisure package. You have to pay for the elite day one edition to get the mecha with the Bluetooth capabilities. So these are hit and miss. Like, they're really good when they get you to a quest line that will draw you to specific environments, like just like little mini dungeons. I wouldn't have thought to go into I would have thought to go into the supermarket because I love a fictional supermarket. But these will direct you to
points of interest.
Points of interest, right? And sometimes these are just kind of like little ammo pickups. Oftentimes, though, they're meaningful upgrades. They're pouches that let you can carry more consumables and ammo.
And those are huge. You want to beeline for those. It's very funny. I don't know if this is true, but playing the game ends up feeling a little bit to me like they remembered, like they came up with this system to support or in concert with the open world system, right? So like in your open world, you go and you find pouches, and it feels like in the first half of the game, they were meted out at a really good pace. then you spend a huge section where you don't have tons of control. Like you're just in dungeons and fighting bosses. And then at the end, they just jam pouches on you during the last open world section.
Yeah.
You get so many fucking pouches because like, oh shit, we haven't been doing the game we made in the beginning for a while.
Right.
We got to give you some pouches, and you just find them every other corpse. It feels like a real like them designing this system for one game that they made and not for the other game they made.
There's just a bunch of this. It just kind of feels like there are people fighting over the steering wheel. You know, where it's just for long stretches, it's going to be doing one thing, and then somebody else with a different priority. It's fucking adaptation, is what it is. Like at a certain point, the shitty brother
side got
over.
Control. Yeah. Mark Spector has taken the wheel, has turned it into, and he wants it to be all action and stuff. But then little nebbish man, he wants to be a bit of story and getting hunted by a grudge. It's really bisected. It is not a harmonious game, like whatsoever to play. It's very funny.
Yeah.
That when the bad director has the wheel of this, it's a real bummer. You spend a lot of time in like dungeons that are hallway related. Sometimes they'll try to do illogical space stuff with them, but it ends up feeling really amateurish, like something that might be really innovative another time. Like going through a door and having it be the same place I just left is cool. I like that, but it's not as impressive, and it doesn't work as well in a game that is about my avatar existing and moving and existing in the space.
Yeah, it's it really is. By 2017, this kind of stuff was like very specifically outmoded. Like you had, like Layers of Fear did a lot of it. I think relatively shortly before this, the whole fake out where you are looking at one thing, then you turn around, and when you look back, it's entirely different.
Yes,
like it's just kind of something that during specifically the first half of the 2010s, you had games that were based around that. You had Antichamber and things like that. And like then even Arkham Knight started doing it with Joker shit, right? And just it's kind of not enough to kind of build around anymore. We need a new trick, right?
It's not enough to just to move away from your actual innovative thing, which is what if RE4 in an open world,
right?
Immersive sim open world. Like it's fine if you want to make a game that emphasizes that. It just ends up feeling like it's kind of breaking a pact with you. It's also where they put in the stealth, like you're being hunted by a unkillable grudge, or you're running down a hallway away from an unkillable grudge, which was annoying shit that happened in the Evil Within 1 all the time. It's where they put in their bad design. Like I don't really like any of those parts. There's cool visuals in them, like you end up in this like candle hell, and it looks cool. You end up in a blasted seamenscape. It looks cool. Everything is covered with pearly gunk. It looks cool.
Cool imagery is not enough. It's not a meal.
It's not a meal. It's totally not a meal. And the boss fights end up doing this as well, where they're like, some of them are cool designs or cool concepts and stuff, but I don't like how the bosses play in this. It's weird. They feel like Resident Evil, like old Resident Evil bosses to me, which has never been my favorite part of Resident Evil, where it's like ammo taxes. And you have less of a defensive vocabulary in this game than you do a lot of Resident Evil games, even. Like there's no dodge or anything. Like you just literally walk out of the way of throwing knives and stuff. Something that works against this as well is, so for the first half of the game, you are dealing with one antagonist who is definitely the strongest. I think conceptually, and in terms of the like psychoscapes that he draws you into, the photographer guy, and then like this is a game that just kind of goes through like major antagonists, and then you get cult guy, and that's where things as well. It feels real weird. It's not
and then the coda, like the very end is when you get it's when you get cum wife. Hey, we're going to talk about cum a lot on this, so just a heads up.
It's because for some reason the visual touchstone of this is everything being coated with spritzed glue. Like the cover of it is your guy drowning in white stuff. Like
it's total paint job.
It's total paint job. It's not milk. It's real thick.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know.
To the point where they like somebody on staff had to make a joke about it, and they had to know.
Yeah.
You have to know.
It's not intentional. I'm not trying to say like, oh, the cum symbolizes, nano machines that are being used in the stem of his balls. Like, I'm not trying to say any of this stuff is intentional. I'm just saying that if I see everything coated with white gunk, like drippy white gunk, if it were coated with yellow white gunk, yellow gunk, I would think it was, thick urine. There's associations impossible for you not to make.
Yeah.
And some of those things look pretty cool. I don't like that your wife is a big, horrible breast monster at the end. I don't really like how this game handles women.
No.
Very well. It's the writing in general, but we were talking about the villains, right? So
yeah.
We have one villain who is like kind of a fun gimmick serial killer. Won me over. And then one who's like a way worse gimmick. And then just tiny little bit of evil breast wife.
Yeah.
Gigantic breast monster wife. And then that's it. Like, it doesn't feel like it does the rule of threes. And this is one of those things where like 2022 is the year where I'm realizing how poisonous complexity can be.
Yeah.
Imagine a version of this game. Okay. Forget everything you know about the Evil Within 2.
Okay.
There's a stem and some psychopaths got into it.
Okay.
Each of them has their own town. You're sent into the town to hunt down each individual psychopath through the town that reflects their individual gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a little suburb section for painter guy, a suburb section for cult guy, make up 3 more guys, give them another open world that reflects each of them. Perfect video game.
Yep.
I'm just hunting psychopaths in the mindscape. It doesn't need all of this fucking Mobius bullshit with the core and with your daughter and all this pathos. Just hunt down psychos in the mindscape.
Oops, we made
my favorite Queensryche album. Like, it's it would have been a really cool idea. Or like, oh, it's an experimental prison. Like we thought we would rehabilitate them through a psychic thing, but you're like a badass psychologist who has to go in and like shut down their dark half. Like, you could do something really cool with this concept. And the thing that's a tragedy of this game is the first half of this is 1/4 of that game. And then the second half of it is just
it's the Evil Within 2.
It's not as good. But I would have loved to have seen a cadre of like Metal Gear Solid villain-esque or like Thomas Harris-esque freaky freaks and each of their individual gimmicks.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
No, instead, just after the photographer, after Stefano, it just slides off of a cliff. So
yep, it gets super silly. The writing is dumb and not good in this. Sebastian is a real grizzled wife guy in this.
Like the first game wasn't really about him, like he was just just a cop, like terrible things, and like there were allusions to this house fire or something that was like in his past, but just he was just an observer, and that was kind of a red herring about kind of what was going on. It was really about Ruvik, right? Here is just even more divorced. He's got more stuff.
There's never been anyone more divorced than Sebastian Castellanos.
Oh man, and this is really about his personal backstory here, which is kind of not strong enough to hang anything on, really.
It's very cliche. When I was playing it, I was like, this is going to end with the wife telling him to move on, and it's just like, oh yeah, I did. It is exactly that. You got to move on, Sebastian. Forgive yourself. I don't know what he's so mad at himself for, too. It's one of those things where he did something kind of shitty when, with the conflict of this, of him like not believing his wife that his daughter wasn't dead. Like, that's a little shitty. It's treated like a really big deal, and that tortures him, and his journey of forgiving himself for that is meant to be like his arc. When he lets go of the baggage and gets his signature revolver. And the whole thing is fucking laughable as hell. Like, him letting go of his baggage and getting a revolver is very Control. You meet an obelisk, and the first thing it does is teach you how to craft weapons. Just fucking video games.
Yeah. It's real. Man, it's treated as this huge revelation. Like, oh, like just spoilers for this, I guess. All of this was out of your control, Sebastian. You have to stop holding yourself accountable. Like, literally, people say this is an inescapable conspiracy. If they wanted to fuck with you, they were going to do it. There was nothing you could do. So why are you ruining your life about it?
It pure narcissism. The narcissism of self-pity. I know I beat that drum all the time, but like if you think everything is about you, whether you think it's good or bad, you're still thinking everything is about you, and it's still really unattractive.
Okay, Carly Simon.
You couldn't put a gun to my head. I don't want to have a beer with Sebastian Castellanos.
Oh no.
Like this guy fucking sucks, and we're gonna do Mankind Divided after this, where we're hanging out with Adam Jensen, and like that guy sucks. But at least, like, I find him kind of funny. It's like I'd never hang out with Adam Jensen. It'd be horrible. But Sebastian Castellano might be worse because he would just wind you the whole time. Just imagine him like shaking up a beer and opening it and getting some beer on your carpet and then going on a 26-hour mindscape thing to forgive himself. It's fine, motherfucker.
Snapping your fingers in front of his face. Sebastian,
drop it. Drop it, man. It's fine.
A quick throwback to mechanical stuff here. When you mentioned he gets his new revolver, something that I really like is you do find better or more specialized versions of of these weapon classes that you can pick. Your upgrades carry over between all of them.
That's really really good. So you don't have the the Resident Evil 4 thing. I love Resident Evil 4. To me, it is perfect. But you have the thing where it's like, do I upgrade the starter pistol or do I wait for a better pistol?
Right.
Here you just upgrade. It's kind of like the Let Us Cling Together, what they did with classes, and having you upgrade all the classes as opposed to individual characters.
Yeah. Back to the writing though. Sebastian sucks. We are in this collective mindscape. I have to say that, like, for however bullshit this gets in the back half, it is nothing compared to just the outright no logic. Just now you're in the woods. Now you're in Beacon, and now you're in a town. Like, now you're in a flooded version of the city. It was just like there was no cohesion to any of it.
In the first one, you mean? Yeah,
and the first one specifically. This world is more stable, which I think actually benefits it. It is not just like, it doesn't just feel like it's Shinji Mikami saying, all right, and now this, and then this, and then this. Yeah. Telling a story like a little kid.
Well, it's weird because that was that kind of shunting from zone to zone is a big strength of RE4. Like that is, but they do it in a way that makes sense. You can kind of see what he was going for with that. Like I can use dream stem logic to go do wilder swings with that without realizing that like the constant changing of venue was good, but it's still, they need to follow.
Yeah. Everything is a non sequitur. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Sebastian, his wife, they've got trauma. It turned her into a cum demon, but she comes back to human and forgives him, sacrificed herself because they thought their daughter died. Their daughter didn't die. She was just tortured a lot. I don't know. Lot of, if you like a little ghost girl saying daddy and then running away and then you go around the corner and there's nothing there. This game is for you, baby. It's going to happen a lot.
Aesthetically, the game looks good. It's probably a little bit behind where it ought to have been in 2017, but who cares? Technically, great visuals in terms of like cool monster design, cool scenery, stuff like that. Lots of good, surreal gore kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, I would agree. I like the way the things look in this. The soundtrack didn't do anything for me, not in a bad way. Like it didn't stand out.
Blended in,
blended in just fine. This is so the first game in the series was directed by Shinji Mikami himself, who created Resident Evil. His involvement stopped after RE4. And the second one is directed by someone else. He stayed on as a producer, supervisory role. We don't know what that means. In Japanese game studios, that can mean something very different. I feel like it's probably pretty likely that there's a lot of Shinji Mikami still in this. Like when we were talking about two people pulling the wheel, if he was responsible for Evil Within 1, I could also see him dragging us back into instant death stealth hallways.
It's like, no, this open world game that you're making, this isn't what I wanted.
I can imagine. I don't know, but I can imagine that.
Yeah, just looking at the commonalities, he's the common denominator.
Yeah.
This was made very quickly compared to the first one. First one took 5 years to make. This one was turned around in 2. This is likely because they already had the engine made and stuff like that. And they had the existing deal with Bethesda, so that probably helped.
Yeah. They wanted for this game to simplify the story and bring kind of more logic to the world, which they did. Like the story is simpler than the first one. Is my understanding from reading about it.
It's definitely told way more directly.
Yeah, which I think is an improvement. The game did okay. Reviews are and everything, like it's like lots of B's. Didn't set the world on fire with sales, but did okay.
Yeah.
Did okay.
It's unclear what the future of this series is going to be. Tango Gameworks went on to develop Ghostwire Tokyo. And though this does end with a sequel hook in the post credits, just no idea. Some weird stuff is happening at Bethesda. I do not know if Microsoft is crazy about reviving this.
Yeah. Ghostwire Tokyo is one of those games that immediately disappeared. Like it was just like, oh, I see ads for this all the time, and then now no one has ever talked about it. It's real weird.
I'm curious about it because the Silent Hill 4 guy is really, really closely involved with it, which could be good or bad depending on what parts he brought over. But
it's always people arguing with a wheel. R2 theory. It's rough. I wonder how much of the middling sales for this are resultant of Tango Gameworks making their logo a snail that takes 3 consecutive shits, looks back at the shits, and then looks at the player expectantly. Like, you need that? Like, it's not a good logo.
It's not.
It's one of the worst ones, actually.
I think you might be over attributing how much people care about game studio logos.
Oh no, I'm doing it as a joke. The fact that you have to set through a bunch of unskippable credits things in this, like unskippable is a big watchword for this game, meant that every single time I fired it up, I had to see that stupid squirrel take 3, linear shits, and then look at me like, what are you gonna do about it? Do you like? You like? No, I don't like. Get them off my screen, man. This is going to be it for the generalities portion of the episode. If you are hearing this, it means that if you'd like to hear the whole thing, you can go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv, give us $5 a month, and you will get to hear all of the premium episodes.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them since we started doing that there. And you get to hear them all. It's not just this month's. You also get to hear next month's premium episode, which is going to be about Half-Life Alyx. Yeah.
So, and whatever we end up doing for December in the future. It's going to be great. In addition to being our patron, you can leave us ratings, reviews on Apple Podcast or Podcast Addict. If you are a non-straight white cis dude and you have a project that you would like us to signal boost, please send me an email at Gary@Duckfeed.tv. This episode, I want to tell everybody about the game Halt from Bunk Bed Fantasy. This is a kind of a very in the politics of Duckfeed satire game where you have this young detective as a satire on capitalism and law enforcement. There is it is downloadable, pay what you want. If you go to bunkbedfantasy.itch.io/halt.
Nice.
Check that out. It looks real cool.
It does. I love these visuals. Nice and colorful.
Yeah. Really, really saturated, like retro palette on this. Really, really neat. Yeah. So like kind of a mix between like a role playing and like a run and gun kind of game with this. So there's platform elements and overhead elements to it.
I know it sounds like I'm doing a bit here, or just leaning into it. Always finding out about cool stuff on this segment.
Yeah, it's that's the idea. So if you have something you'd like to have highlighted in the segment, please send me an email. If you sent me an email and we haven't gotten to yours yet, apologies. It's not personal or anything like that. It just dig through them. I try to vet them a little bit, and that depends on time. So check out Halt.
Please do. Also check out Best Quality Vacuum. Oh, yes. Or still in the early days of that. We're talking about Breaking Bad. Eventually, we're going to talk about El Camino and Better Call Saul. That is going to replace Orb as our non-video game media show that we do.
Yes. Yeah. And until next time, take care. Thanks for listening.